Because I could not stop for death. Summary and analysis. Poem by Emily Dickinson. Because I Could Not Stop for Death is one of Emily Dickinson's most celebrated poems and was composed around 1863. In the poem, a female speaker tells the story of how she was visited by death, personified as a kindly gentleman and taken for a ride in his carriage. This ride appears to take the speaker past symbols of the different stages of life, before coming to a halt at what is most likely her own grave. The poem can be read both as the anticipation of a heavenly Christian afterlife and as something altogether more bleak and down to earth. Much of its power comes from its refusal to offer easy answers to life's greatest mystery: what happens when people die? Because I could not stop for death.
Because I could not stop for death, he kindly stopped for me. The carriage held but just ourselves and immortality. We slowly drove. He knew no haste, and I had put away my labor and my leisure too, for his civility. We passed the school where children strove at recess in the rain. We passed the fields of gazing grain. We passed the setting sun, or rather, he passed us. The dews drew quivering and chill, for only gossamer, my gown, my tippet, only tulle. We paused before a house that seemed a swelling of the ground. The roof was scarcely visible, the cornice in the ground. Since then 'tis centuries, and yet feels shorter than the day I first surmised the horses' heads were toward eternity.
Summary. I couldn't stop for death, so instead he came to get me. I climbed in his carriage, which held just the two of us, as well as eternal life. We drove unhurriedly, with death in no rush. I had left all my work and pleasures behind, in order to be respectful of his gentlemanly nature. We went by a school, where children played during their break time, arranged in a circle. Then we passed fields of crops, which seemed to stare, and the sun as it set in the sky. Actually, we didn't pass the sun, it passed us. As it did so, dew formed, shivering and cold. I was cold too, as I was only wearing a thin gown and a lightweight scarf. Our next stop was at what looked like a house, except it was partly buried in the ground. I could just about see the roof. Even the ceiling was in the ground. Since that day, centuries have passed. That said, it feels as though less than a day has gone by since then. The day that I realized that death's horses were headed in the direction of eternity. Because I could not stop for death. Vocabulary. Haste. Haste is a fairly old-fashioned word for hurriedness. Civility. This refers to death's gentlemanly politeness and respectful manner. Strove. This is the past tense of the verb, to strive. It means to make an effort, often one that is physical. It's a curious and significant word choice over something more obvious like play. Quiver. Quivering is a trembling, shaking motion. Gossamer. Gossamer refers to a fine and delicate texture, like that of a spider's web. Here it informs the reader that the speaker's gown is very thin. Cornice. A cornice is an architectural feature. It is a design or pattern that goes at the top of a built structure, usually around the roof or ceiling.
Thanks for watching. If you find the video informative, please like and subscribe to our channel. And share the video with your friends and family. See you tomorrow. Till then, take care, keep learning. Bye-bye.